I left my sword in a Primarch's spine.
Hello, it's your almost politically correct redneck friend Midnight. And today I got another deck guide for you for a very effective and very easy to play Warlord. We're talking about Corswain, the epic Warlord from the Dark Angels. In my opinion, the only epic Warlord because, well, Feral Threat Loss doesn't count, no one plays him since Lion got changed. There's no point in playing him, to be honest, or yeah, unfortunately. So yeah, first of all, what are the Dark Angels about? They got two gimmicks, the first one being Quest. Quest is something you choose when you play a troop which has the quest tag, and you have to choose one of three quests. So the first one being deal damage to the enemy warlord in combat, second is be the target of an enemy tactic, and the third one is destroy an enemy troop in combat. When that situation occurs, the quest triggers and then something happens. Like here, you get healed by the amount of this guy's attack. So for example, you play Morse, then you choose deal damage to the enemy warlord in combat, then either the enemy warlord attacks into it, or you attack with it next turn and then it triggers. Yeah, that's how it works. It also triggers when the troop dies in the process, so when you chose destroy an enemy troop in combat and the troop has more than 3 attack and it when Morse dies in the process, the quest still triggers, so it's not like Battle Honor or something, yeah? The second gimmick are wings. Wings are just tags on some troops. They don't do anything in particular, but there are some synergies. Like for example, here we got Storm Eagle Strike. If you control a Raven Wing like the Zarian squad, then this does something in addition. Or we have Pelagormana, who does something to a certain wing, so he buffs all troops from a certain wing. There are some synergies going on here, and this also should be considered when building your deck. And speaking of the deck, let's jump right into it. So we got Corswain, as mentioned, very easy and straightforward warlord to play in my opinion. What you want to do with this deck, overwhelm your opponent with the huge Dark Angels troops. Dark Angels have a lot of hand buffs, so stuff gets bigger while being in your hand. They're the only one which can do it, so like the training cage mechanic, so to say. And let's start off with our Warlord. We got Corswain. He got a purple card, Duelist Triumph, which gives him +2 attack and first strike for 1 turn. And he has Lucius ability, so 2 energy gain +1 attack, and then he can act again. So you can proc it up to 5 times on 10 energy, means that he can get up to 7 attack on 10 energy. Why is this good? Because Corswain is like one of your win conditions by himself. With Duelist Triumph on 10 energy and his ability, you can get up to 8 attack. So kind of a bootleg, what's it called, Vengeful Spirit with yourself. You can pressure your opponent in later turns by not playing anything and just swinging at them twice at the high energy cost for like, I don't know, 14 damage or something. That's actually a strategy. And besides that, that helps us with tempo, controlling the board while developing our board ourselves. Duelist Triumph is also excellent for that. And anyway, let's get into the cards. Our first card is Drilling Sight. As you saw, we can use our ability as many times as we want, as long as we have the energy. So this helps with that. Yeah, you can then pump Corswain to even more attack. Or simply for some combos. For example, we have Operator to Cure, 2 energy Dreadwing. And we got the Onyx Saber, a 6 energy Raven Wing. The idea here is, for example, you are at 6 energy, you play the Cure, and then you play Drilling Sight and the Onyx Saber, meaning it does 5 damage, and you get 2 units on the board, which is huge for 6 energy. Just an example. Second card, Legionary Boreal. On its own, not very good, it's just a 1-1 sneak attack with flank, but with the Dark Angels we have the ability to buff him with Principia Bellicosa, with our Astrovils, and so on. And this can make him a real threat. Sometimes you get him up to 5 attack. It was, I think, my best with this deck. Like Operator to Cure twice or something. And then you have for 1 energy a 5-5 flanker with sneak attack, which is insane. And by the way, we're also focusing on Raven Wings, so by default he should usually be buffed by Pelagormana, making him a 2-2 flanker sneak attack for 1 energy. Really good here. Then we got Brothers in Arms. As I mentioned earlier, we want to play something every turn, so I wanted to have as many 2 energy cards here as possible. With Brothers in Arms, if you play turn 1, usually you want to fish for something you can play next turn. So in our case, Idrwin Morse, choose Deathwing in that case. So if you choose Deathwing, we have 3 options. You can either get Idrwin Morse, yeah, for your turn 2 play, or you get Deathwing Companions, which is not that great if you draw it early, but you could also get Knight Praetor Ramiel, which is insane, because on 5 energy he will be a 5-7, since Brother in Arms also buffs him, and this will guarantee us a huge tempo swing on 5 energy if our opponent plays something for him to kill. I really like it here. Then we get Captain Historic. This is one of those vanilla to energy do something troops which almost every legion has. Usually you don't see them that much, but here I included him because he's Ravenwing, and as mentioned with Pelagor Mana, for example, we want to buff Ravenwing by default in this deck, and this just makes him a good troop. He cycles himself with the potential of getting bigger, and that's basically it. Cycling himself, getting something on the board while maintaining our hand count. I really like him here. Operator the Cure. Our best turn 1 play, in my opinion, really busted card. His quest is that he gives +2/+2 to a Dark Angel's troop in your hand. Choose wisely. Against Gilliman, for example, you will always have counterattack. It's wise to pick target of an enemy tactic because usually he will respond with his Warlord ability and then shoot a counterattack at it. Besides that, just choose deal damage to the enemy Warlord in combat. This is the safest play. You will almost always go first. And there are only a few tactics which deal 3 damage, or only a few Warlords which can deal 3 damage to this. So yeah. Really good card. I think this goes in any Dark Angels deck and irreplaceable. So then we got Hunt Him Down. Some tech. I think this is a pretty good one. It gives flank to a Dark Angels troop, and if it's a Raven, it gets +2/+2. So some combos here. First of all, Seraph Spikes. If you use it on them, they become like the Pyroman's Javelin Speeder. Another cool combo is use it in Mordwin Squad. It's a 7 energy combo. So you play Mordwin Squad, then play Hunt Them Down. They get buffed. So if they are not buffed before from your hand, they go to 4 attack, and then you use their ability and they deal 4 attack. Yeah, because with flank, it doesn't mean they have to attack, but they can act, they turn come into play, meaning they can use their ability. And of course, doesn't only work well with Ravenwing troops, we could also Dreadwing Proctor. If we use on Proctor and choose the quest to destroy an enemy troop in combat, you flank him, destroy something which has 5 health or less, and then you proc the quest, also pretty good. Just to give you an idea how to use this card. Then we got Melgator. As mentioned, this deck is all about tempo. Ambassador Melgator provides the tempo swings, and what's also pretty cool, sometimes you can like bounce your own Pelagor Mana, so again double usage here for this card, and then just use the rally effect of Pelagor Mana again. And then we got Lord Malkiel. We're always going first. We can protect him, but with him we can accelerate our curve, meaning we skip our kinda weak turn 2. So we have only Pelagor Mana as a really good turn 2 play, and sometimes Morse, but Morse usually you want to buff him up first. And then we go straight into Zeraphil, or even the turn after into Astragal. So I think accelerating our curve with Malkiel is really good here. We can protect him, yeah, but still a very good turn 1 play. Then we get Idwin Morse. He's just good. Against the current meta, especially Khans, healing is important. If he gets buffed to a huge amount by, like, I don't know, the Cure, he becomes a 3 energy 5/5 with frontline, which heals you for 5 if you get to trigger the quest. Really good here. Try to draw him early as mentioned with Bravos and Arms. Pretty good troop. I don't know why I do not put him in here. Then we got Pelagor Mana. So his rally is really strong. Our best turn 2 play in my opinion. What wing do you want to choose with this deck? With this deck, by default you choose, as mentioned, Ravenwing, because we got a lot of Ravenwing troops and they benefit the most here. But if you tend to have like a handful of, I don't know, you have 2 Edwin Morse for some reason in your hand and an Nightbreaker Ramiel. So if you have a lot of troops of a certain wing in your hand, I would suggest to choose that wing because, well, the cards he buffs are in your deck, and yeah, there are more, but you play with your hand and it's more likely that you will use those cards than those in your deck. I hope that makes sense. So take a look at your hand first before using him, but by default, if there's an equal card count in your hand, but you have a Ravenwing, a Dreadwing, and a Deathwing, just choose Ravenwing by default. Then we got Seraph Spikes. This is our anti-stealth. I run this over Informer Network because it's Ravenwing, so it gets buffed, and we can reuse it. I had really good experiences with this card, so yeah, I use it over Informer Network. Principia Bellicosa, 1 copy. It's basically one of those 3 energy buff your troops card and an additional huge buff. Yeah, not much to say here. Use it when you have troops on board. It's really good with Legionary Boreals, so like play 2 Boreals, then slam this card in, and they become 3/3 flankers or even more when they got buffed before. Then Mordwin Squad, as mentioned, use him with Hunt Him Down to add 7 energy for a cool combo. But besides that, he works really well because we buff Ravenwing by default, and yeah, he just becomes, he's pretty good. That's basically it, not much to say here. His rifle, only one copy. I know you don't see that that often, but we tend to have a low card count in our hand because we play every turn. I also don't have Licticio Divinatus in here. So yeah, this rifle goes in almost every deck. I think actually in every Dark Angels deck. His effect is really good. You choose a wing, and then you reduce the cost of the troops in your hand of that wing by 2. Really insane. If you got like Deathwing Companions and some Night Predator Ramiel in hand, this is huge. This is game winning. Still only one copy because the effect is nice, and usually we want to attack with our troops, like really straightforward as mentioned. Orders from Terra. Real weird card to see here, but because of Duelist Triumph, this works really, really well. So some scenarios, your opponent has 2 troops on board, both with, I don't know, 4 health. You play Duelist Triumph, clear the first, Orders from Terra, clear the second. But that's also a huge finisher. For example, like the best case scenario as we have Duelist Triumph in hand, 10 energy into drilling sites. We use Duelist Triumph, then we pump our attack 4 times, so we're at 8 energy, drilling site twice, and then attack. And then Orders from Terra attack again, that's 16 damage from your Warlord alone. No one expects that, really huge, and that's what we use it for. Astroville, also kind of a staple Dark Angel card. When you're at 5 energy, always play this guy first before playing Redwing Proctors because, well, he buffs your stuff, although they have worse stats, yeah. And then try to get the Battle Honor off. Yeah, not much to explain here. Redwing Proctor, also a really good 5-drop in my opinion. Not much to say here, it's just a good troop, in my opinion, and that's all. He has an AoE effect, and a good body. That's basically it. If you play him, there's also a very good follow-up with Onyx Saber, so I think he's the best 5-drop for the Dark Angels, and that's basically it. Night Praetor Ramiel, in my opinion, the best Dark Angels legendary. The effect is insane, he's like a Melgator on steroids. So you basically deal 4 damage for 5 energy and then get a 4/6 on the board. But the Dark Angels buff stuff in your hand, so he can grow bigger. Like if you get a single Operator DQ proc on him, he will become a 6/8. So you can remove something with 6 health and then get a 6/8 on the board. Not much to say here. This card is insane. This goes in any Dark Angels deck. Onyx Saber, another big Raven Wing, kind of a also key card here. Really good. He deals 2 damage by default and 5 damage if you have a Red Wing on the board. So the damage happens in 2 instances, so that means it breaks Shield and Survivor if you time it right. Also not much to say here. Try to combo it, like I said, with Operator DQ. So Drilling Site, Operator DQ, Drilling Site, play this on 6 energy, and a good follow-up for the Red Wing Proctor. Then we get Deathwing Protocol. I wanted some hard removal. Sometimes the game drags on, and you gotta use it. So yeah, this is the hard removal of Dark Angels. It's not that great. It's like bad Spear of Telesto in my opinion. If you have it in your starting hand, it's not that bad though, because the cost gets reduced if you proc quests, so it can get down to a reasonable amount and then provide a good tempo swing. Besides that, if you draw it late, it's obviously just 7 energy destroys a troop. Not the best, but still without it, I sometimes find myself in tough situations. And at last but not least, the Deathwing Companions. Another Adder legendary, pretty good. Solid body for red energy, 7/8 with frontline, so huge frontline to stop those cards from attacking your face. And if they stick, they keep buffing all the troops which come into play. Just on a side note, the buff happens after the rally effect, so if you think like, I play these and then follow up with Night Praetor Ramiel, Night Praetor Ramiel will still do the amount of damage he would deal when you play him from hand without Deathwing Companions on the board, so they get buffed only after the rally effect happens, just so you know. So that's the deck. Not much to explain here as mentioned. And as usual, I got some more cards which you could include here if you don't agree with me with some of my choices or you are missing some of those cards. First card, Prisoner Custody. I don't run it because it's easily broken, the effects, so sometimes you can ping yourself. It's counter synergetic with the game plan. You know, we want to attack every turn, do something every turn, be very proactive. And it might be that card and only good in certain matchups, so I skipped it here. Lexicon of Glory. Problem with this card that the secondary effect never finds its use. It's just for energy deal for damage. It's not like Chariot of the Gods where you also draw a card, or I don't know. There's also like K-Meal where you also deal damage to everything else. It's just for damage for energy. Solid, but in my opinion not good enough. It can help you burst your opponent down or something, and yeah, certainly not a must-have card. Still okay to include it in my opinion. Then we got a Swift Wrath Speeders. Only good thing about this in my opinion is that they are Raven Wing, and in this deck they would get buffed. The stats are poo, and yeah, the situational cleave 2 also doesn't help that much, so I skipped on them. And as mentioned, they're only good because they're Raven Wing. It might get buffed, but on their own it's just a 4/3 flanker for 4 without any additional effect, and it's not that good. Unbroken Vow. In my opinion, it's not bad. We don't have many 4 energy plays. I think it's a better training cage. And the Dark Angels have their training cage mechanic going on anyway. It's a bit slow, and that's the problem. It doesn't do anything to the board state, but it's still not a bad card to include if you consider it. Saccharus Interrupters. They work really well if you can like give them escape vent or flank with Hunt Them Down, but I didn't want that many combos in the deck. As I mentioned many times, very straightforward approach. Play stuff and win. No? Don't think much about it. On their own, without those mentioned combos, they are pretty bad because they have 3 health for 4 energy. They still pose a threat, but yeah, not good enough to include them in my opinion. Okay, then we got Eschaton Imperative. This card is really good actually, but I found it to be too slow. It does 2 damage to everything for 5 energy, which is, yeah, not that great. You can also run defense satellites or something. The cost reduction also doesn't do that much from experience. It sounds great, but it isn't. Trust me. It's cool, but very situational. It's often a dead card in our hand. We got Rhetoric Proctors for AoE. Not the most reliable ones, but I found them to be still better than Eschaton Imperative. Then some neutral cards. Escape Vent. You can put this card in the stack to use it on key Dreadwing troops, for example, Dreadwing Proctor to A, proc the quest, and B, to ensure that the Onyx Saber can deal 5 damage. And that's basically it. You can also hide like Deathwing Companions so they don't get hard removed and then you get the buffs off. Command Bridge, I don't run it in this deck as you saw. Usually it goes in almost every deck, but here we simply don't have any key tactics, so why play it? I skipped on it here. Abandoned Supplies. I don't like to run Drilling Sites and Abandoned Supplies in one deck, but you can risk it, of course. Or you can dump the Drilling Sites and play Abandoned Supplies instead. It's not bad because we have a considerable amount of 5 energy cards, and if you can draw Astral or Dreading Proctor from Abandoned Supplies, it's just really good. Then we got Crucial Choice, an insane card, goes in almost every deck, but guess what? 3 energy, tempo loss without getting something good. Sometimes you get something insane, yeah, but there's a high chance that you don't, so I skipped on it here. On 3 energy, we want to play stuff, Pelago Mana, Edwin Morse, and so on. And then, at last but not least, Edict of Censure. We have a very low tactic count, and this card can win you certain matches, but currently it's not that important. Tactic heavy decks are not much around. Usually we play against troop heavy decks, and it's also 5 energy, do nothing. You know, do nothing to the board state, and that's not what this deck wants to do. Alright, that's it for the deck. In my opinion, it doesn't need that much explanations. Let's jump into some games. Currently, I'm it's the 6th of September. It's still a fresh season. I'm not even in the top 50. We're not that far away from it. Let's see if we can climb a bit. Hibu Khan. Not someone you see that often. Boreal makes no sense here. This also makes no sense, and I don't really know what I could bounce. So let's mulligan a whole hand. Going second kinda sucks.
This war is just beginning.
Although the counterattack is not bad.
Redemption.
Okay. Nothing to do turn 1. Also unfortunate. So just gonna punch him with an enhanced attack. Okay. Phew, still nothing to play. I could just play Naked Mordwins, but I don't like that too much, to be honest. It still pressures him a bit, so let's do it. Next turn I can play an Astroville. It's better than not playing anything. They're not very good naked, but whatever. And Melgator, that's fine. So This time I'm gonna use the counterattack and buff my whole hand. Pretty good. Why Tiger Dow? Okay. Alright, check this. Night Praetor. Still attacking phase. I could Drilling Sight into something. I'm probably gonna do that, yeah. Malkiel doesn't do much here, so I'm just gonna play the Cure. And he's probably gonna attack into it. That's what I expect at least. Not too happy about that, to be honest. Gonna have to take 4 here, but I'm gonna develop a huge board. I think that's worth it. Boreal, double trade, and play that. He might run Storm Lances, so how likely is that? I'm still gonna pick this one. I think this is what's actually gonna happen. Oh, what's that? Goldstones, okay. That's fine. Alright, good thing I picked the this quest. I can't quite kill him yet, so I'm gonna attack here and just vomit my board. My hand, I mean. Tactic. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Maybe he plays another troop. Yeah, let's try. Maybe he plays like Speeders or something. I don't know. Still it's more likely that he attacks into it, right? But it's kind of a mind game here, you know? Maybe he doesn't attack into them to not let me get the quest. Electricity is welcome. Also a card you could include, by the way. Holy crap. Oh boy, what's that? It was a tactic, okay. But still didn't help. Oh, Lucretia. And I don't run Eschaton. Too bad. I'm gonna keep the Night Praetor. I'd like to have something to play on turn 1, but that looks pretty bad. And yeah. Nah.
This war is just beginning.
God damn it.
Nothing next to my will to win.
Still nothing to play. So just gonna punch her with an enhanced attack. Okay. Let's play Idrwin Morse. And destroy an enemy troop in combat, I think. Kill that. Next turn I can maybe Morduin and Principia Belliciosa with Drilling Sight. Let's see if it works. If this survives, but it probably won't survive. McCormick's? Okay. Oh boy. The power of Lucretia. Let's play the raffle. Drilling Sight. And let's get rid of... Let's get rid of that crap. I don't mind that. Yet. Yeah, that's unfortunate. And he plays more stuff, holy crap. Okay. Now I gotta act, obviously. I'm gonna kill that. And slam here, taking 5, returning that to his hand, but still okay, I think. Here I'm gonna probably fish for a Raven Wing, just to get a flanker. Maybe. I mean the Boreal dude. Okay. And Jubek. Jubek is a problem. I could just play the Dreadwing, but that leaves me open with nothing else to play, so I'm just gonna do it here. Let's see what we get. Yeah, Storic's not that great, but still gonna play him. To cure. And get rid of Jubek. Like, if he doesn't kill the dude, I can Mordwin Squad in a Principia next turn and maybe make something happen. Could also play the Cure and Dreadwing. Yeah, I think that's even better. Land the Thunderhawk, holy crap, dude. How good is that, though? Okay, okay. So, Orders from Terra. I think that was a mistake what he did that, so I'm gonna play this. This is gonna destroy an enemy troop. And this is gonna also destroy an enemy troop, I think. Let's see how it goes. Mortar Strike. Fuck my life. Oh, come on. Yeah, that was not bad, I guess. Fucking Kaiser Lane, bro. Deathwing Companions, look at that. I'm gonna play them because they protect me. Just hope that Kaiser Lane doesn't get her anything more ridiculous. Next turn I get lethal with Principia Belchiosa and or actually just do Let's Triumph and Orders from Terra. Silent Death. Like, it's good that he still plays these tactics because it slows him down a lot. So what did you get? Another Mortar Strike, Jesus Christ. And it hits here. Fuck my life, dude. I'm really not happy with that. So, let's see. Duelist Triumph and Orders from Terra. I'm at 9 energy, unfortunately. So, that means I can't play... Well, I can. Principia Belchiosa on that, for example. So let me count real quick. I'll be at... This does 8, I do 8, and these will do 5. Yeah, that's exactly lethal. Cool. So let's do that. Let's get Dreadwing, it doesn't matter. Let's do that. Holy crap. What a game, bruh. Got her! Oh boy. Oh, center is a really bad matchup. I can't play the Cures. I can't play these either. I can play Seraphis Spikes, I guess. Yeah, that's success. Because he counters the Cures so well.
Not so scary.
Yeah, let's play Historic first. And we gotta smack him ASAP. So turn 2 Seraphis Spikes. Turn 3 Brothers in Arms. Into Dreadwing, I guess. Ravenwing. He won't play any stealth tech, so I'm just gonna play it here. Okay. So let's get another Ravenwing. I want the bikes. I mean Saber, very good. Let's play Captain Historic. Draw another card. Another mana. Nice. Trade here and keep slamming his face. Okay. Duzen Carpus. So I could like play mana before I play Proctor, but I don't think it's worth it. So I'm just gonna play Proctor and hope that he survives. Deal damage. And keep slamming his face. Okay. Only one ping hit the Proctor, good for me. Let's see if it can somehow survive. If not, I'm playing the Saber next turn anyway, for 2 damage. But better than nothing, right? Okay, very good, it survives. He just equips a servo arm. That means we can go apeshit. Attack. Forward! Slam him. So him using his equipment is actually a good thing here. Not quite sure how he can deal with that, like with an AoE, I guess. But from here on, I can actually just keep punching him, and then I win, even if I don't play troops, you know. Like, he still has his shield, but I doubt that it will help him in the end. Yeah, here's the Ferrum Cruiser as expected. And then shield and attack into that probably. Yeah. So, all cool, all cool. Look, I got orders from Terra and Duelist Triumph, so... I'm still... How much off am I? I can do it, I need to do it next turn, I think. With 2 attacks, like buffed up twice. Duelist Triumph. Yeah, buff up twice, Duelist Triumph, that's 6. And then North Control, it's 12. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. And attack here. Yeah, so you can probably remove it. But unless he heals more somehow, I should have it. That's a pretty good highlight of how Corswain wins the game by himself, if I win it. So unless he somehow heals himself again, we should be fine. I mean, Pi Alphas are a thing, but I need to hope that he doesn't run them here. Okay, he fishes for something. Okay, that missed. What, you can't clear it? He just whips another server arm. And that's GG. So, I'm not gonna hit him with that, I'm just gonna show him how it's done. Twice, 6 attack, orders from Terra, and another swing. So even if we cleared that, we would have won. GG. Bad matchup, but we still did it. Alright, this should be it for today's games. I hope this gave you a little idea how to play that Corswain. Very straightforward, tempo oriented. Take control of the board, overwhelm your opponent, and then finish him off big with your own Warlord or with your big troops. So yeah, I hope you liked it. These were the games for today, as mentioned. If you enjoyed, check out the other guides on my channel. We have also event gameplay, the videos of the World Cup, and community requests. So if you want me to build a deck of your choice of the Warlord, let me know in the comments. I'll queue him up and do him eventually. And well, I hope to see you in the next video, and until then, Midnight out.